Not a good way to start a cold Monday. That's if you're a bus commuter. Thousands of people around the country are going to be stranded as the bus drivers' strike not only continues but also intensifies. Here's why. Rea Vaya bus drivers in Gauteng have now indicated that they will be joining the strike action. Let's find out where we sit on this particular situation. A huge pleasure to welcome to the show SATAWU's Mr. Zenzo Mahlangu. Mr. Mahlangu, good morning.
Morning.
And thank you for your time in joining us. Why 18%? Where did you get that figure from for an increase?
Well, I think you remember last year we had a SATAWU conference in which we resolved that we need to move the wages of workers in a very great terms. You would remember this was informed by the fact that elsewhere there was understanding that a particular area was given 22%. So the perception in general is that we need to make sure that for us to achieve a good life for all, better life for all, wages needs to be increased. But remember, this is a negotiation, it's not a casting stone.
So you're basing it simply from what you've just explained on a previous situation where 22% was given. Have you at all taken a look at what employers are able to afford? Have you taken a look at inflation? How's the maths equated to 18%?
Obviously, we have looked at that, and we've looked at profitability, which I think up to this point they are not indicating it as an issue. But we understand, we are not actually moving from an uninformed point of view. If I have to qualify that, we had as SATAWU a policy conference in which bargaining was an issue, and the fact that we need to maintain centralized bargaining. Otherwise, if we do not move in a very significant way, we would lose face, and they wouldn't want to do that. So basically, I would want to say, though, there is information, and very scientific one, and we know that is achievable. But remember, we always close gaps. As they move, we also move.
You would understand, though, that while you are fighting for increased living wages and increased living conditions for your workers, by staging a strike like this, commuters are losing their income. What's your comment and reaction to that? And what do you say to commuters who are now losing out on money while fighting for your own workers' rights? Well,
that's the paradox of life in which we live in. But remember, this becomes as a last resort. And it's unfortunate. It's not something that we always love to do. But we understand this is one way or another of actually pressurizing the employer. Let me say to commuters, they should actually understand that there should be some alternative transport, but it's not the intention. In the bus industry, after reaching a deadlock, at a point where we say with the employers, now we can't move further, there is also a 30 days period, cooling period, to try and resolve issues. And the tendency from the other side, particularly employers, that they are not actually coming to part. And we're a bit disturbed, but we're told somewhere else they've decided to go to companies and offer 11%, 9%, which they should be offering, or they should have offered in the table.
Employers and commuters watching this at the moment, Mr. Mahlangu, want to know which services are going to be affected from today and where are these going to be affected? Who has now joined your strike action?
Let me say all bus companies that fall under the bargaining council, nationwide, they should be affected. And we expect more because last week on Friday it was said someone did not get information and they were confused by some of the employers. But we believe today we will see more buses, including Rea Vaya. They should be coming into party because they are not necessarily owned by the Metro or the City Council of Joburg. They are part of the bargaining council. They should be joining us and we expect more. Because we think with drivers everywhere, they would want really to see their wages being increased in a manner that makes life better for all.
All right, well, I am not going to push it any further. You are in negotiations with the employers at the moment. Mr. Mahlangu, thank you for coming in.
Thank you very much.
SATAWU Secretary General, Mr. Zenzo Mahlangu, joining us on Morning News today.
News that moves. eNCA.com.